live stream. So it's just a chill live stream. So today I'm going to build HTTP server from scratch, and I will be referring to this beautiful book. Let me show you that book. Building your own web server from scratch in Node.js, and I won't be using any type of framework and like that, and try to get over how a web server is built, how buffer are handled, how pipelines, how transfer and all that works from scratch. I have a little bit knowledge on JavaScript, so let's see what we can do. Let me change this to open it in Chrome. Okay. Let's see, it's a blank. So let's see how do we do. Sounded I guess. Sound. Chat में हाई हुए पर let's see. Hmm? So let's see. Okay. So what we are going to do, I think we can work till here. We can finish this 1 2 3 chapter 1 2 3. I think there are around, okay, there are around 13 chapters to this book. It include building a TCP server, permission event, buffer, pipeline request, content lane, ambiguities, HTTP binary, nickel circle, and buffer writing. Okay. We are going to finish this book I think within 2 to 3 days. Today I will finish till this chapter 3, building promise-based IO. Okay, let's start. So basically HTTP robot, if you understand the inner working and building their own X, put deep dives into teaching basics from scratch, from clear understanding of tools and tech we rely on. First step is to make program talk over the network. This is called socket programming. Okay. First step is to make programs talk over network. Socket programming is more just gluing API together. This is to end up with a half working solution if you skip the basics. In order to communicate over a network, the data sent over the network must conform to a specific format called protocol. Learning how to create and implement any protocol. TND mode na. There was some kind of problem with the communication. Let's come back again. So we are here. The first step is to make program talk over the network. This is also socket programming, but socket programming is more than just gluing API together. It's easy to end up with a half-working solution if you skip the basics. In order to communicate over the internet, the data center must conform to some basic format called protocols. Learning how to create or implement a network protocol by using HTTPS target. HTTPS target, okay. Socket programming protocols to create and implement. I know some of the basics of what is protocol and all that, so I think I can skip over some of the parts. Protocol are just means set of rules on how you do things on the internet, and socket programming is just how you connect to different computer over the internet. This is really the simple definition of that. We can go really deep into this to protocol and all this stuff, but for now I think that this knowledge would be enough. We already know something about HTTP, such as URL, different methods like GET and POST, response code, various headers, and etc. But continue building your own children's few scenarios. Students certified learning portfolio standard for future career developer and make fundamental beyond framework and tool hobbies. So the book design is to guide you through your own web server implementation. The book follows a step-by-step approach on each chapter, building on various previous one. An outline for each step: TCP, echo server, socket primitive, event-based programming, async and await and promise. Outline of each step: socket, echo server, socket primitive in Node.js, event-based and async and simple messaging protocol, implementing a network protocol on TCP, working with byte stream. Okay. Basic server, HTTP server and syntax, generating dynamic content, ASIC generator, core application. Core application, serving static file IO, programming tips, avoid resource leaking, range requests, caching control, compression, streaming pipe, stream and pipe application. Okay, these are all the things we have been implementing. Managing this. Producing code is the easiest part, and you will also need to debug the code and make it work. So I have included some tips in it also. Discuss at the end of it, getting your own is a reward, but it should not be our only goal. There are many blog posts on us you to toy with it, but how do you go beyond the toys? At the end of the chapter, we'll discuss what is the missing from the gap between toy and the real things such as automation, important concept beyond coding such as event loop, back pressure. There are also what you are learning to overlook, which is why stuff has to work the way. You can learn from both good and the bad ones. What should you do? Can you deviate from this book? Node and TypeScript. The project uses Node.js without any dependencies, but any concept are language agnostic, so it's valuable for learner for any language. Code samples use a TypeScript with type annotation for readability, but the difference from JS are minor. Mostly data structure and function, avoiding fancy abstraction to maximize clarity. Book uses Node.js without a dependency, but many concept for language code use example uses TypeScript with type annotation for readability, but the difference are the code is also data structure function, avoiding fancy abstraction to maximize clarity. So this is the website from where I have bought this book. You can also buy this on the website. Let's not show the book in the live stream. Let's keep it here. Okay. Now we can show it for theory. After that, when I start coding, I will not show the book for copyright and all the purposes. Overview. As you may already know, HTTP protocol side about the TCP protocol. How TCP itself work in detail is not our concern. What we need is to know about TCP is that it's in bidirectional channels for transmitting the data. Carrier for other applications. It's about TCP. Bidirectional channels for transmitting raw data. A carrier for other application protocols such as HTTPS. Although each direction of TCP connection operate independently, request response, basic request response cycle, how it works in TCP. It's like a bidirectional challenge, means from both receiver, a host can be both a receiver and a sender, and the receiver can also be a sender. It's bidirectional challenge, and it transfers raw data over the internet. Then after that, it goes up. It goes up the means layers of internet, OSI layers or TCP/IP layer, to get you the final data which the user sees. Okay, HTTP request or response consists of header followed by optional payload. So the HTTP has two things: the header has some properties and also certain optional payloads. The header contains the URL of the request, the response code, followed by a list of header field. HTTP request response consists of the followed by an optional payload. The header contains URL of the request and the response followed by a list of header field. Okay. So let's see, to get hang of the protocol, let's start by making a HTTP request with the command line. So you write netcat dot sending HTTP to this domain at port 80, destination host, and then attach the connection to standard in and output. Connection to destination host input, and then attaches the connection to standard output. So we can input and get output. After we make connection, we can now start typing in the terminal and the data will transmit it. Okay, let's try that out. Let's learn to get HTTP. What version is using? It's using 1.0. Then host, we are making guest request to example.com. Okay, that's the thing. That's the data we got. That's all the header details. It's like the HTTP version, the status code, okay, and what type of content we got. I don't know about ETEC, I have to look on it. The last modified, cache control, max age, limit. Let's see what are all those are accepted, and then I also don't know about many of the stuff. Let me see. Firefox. So these are all the things we got. Let's check the ETEC first. What is ETEC? So ETEC in HTTP header. So the HTTP ETAG entity tag or response is an identifier for a specific version of the resource. It lets cache be more efficient and save bandwidth, as a web server doesn't need to resend a full response if the content has not changed. ETAG helps to prevent simultaneously update of repos or overwriting each media collection resource. So it tries to identify a specific version of the resource response header. It let cache means if they are sending something, that it will make something of an ID, that they have sent something like that, I think. So case sensitive indicates directives connect w front case sensitive indicate a weak failure that is used. Weak e-tech are easy to generate but are far less useful for comparison. Strong validator are ideal for comparison but are very difficult to generate efficiently. Entity tag that uniquely represent the request resource. It's a string, a C character placed between double quotes. So it's like an ID for a specific version of content, whatever content they have sent. I think it's like an ID for that. So let's go through this website. Retag is really useful part of HTTP that can make site run faster, more efficient caching. So this thing is used for caching purposes of resource. Okay. L for by differentiating with multiple representation of same resource. However, they are often misused or implemented incorrectly, which means the potential performance maintain. They could deliver get lost optimization. Your Git implementing is a way to speed up your site and reduce call to the origin, triggering huge cost refactoring as a member of the solution team. Solution. Oh, so it oh, this is some kind of a identifier whether the data has been changed or not. Okay. Rather than re-downloading the whole content, they will first compare with the hash. It is a SHA hash or MD5 hash of the content to compare whether some data is changed or not, which helps in caching. No, okay, I get it. It's help for caching. Okay, I will. And I understand it's used for caching. I will look into it later then. Let's go. What was the next thing I was unable to understand? That would be cache control. What is cache control? Cache control header holds directly with both request response that control caching in browser and shared cache. Cache controller directive is both request and response that control caching in browser and shared cache. Instruction. pass some kind of property with that so that you can control the cache. So there are different cost control request max age. You can add comma separated properties to that. System some have also have, okay. Cache control next. So it's some kind of thing. So these two things are used for controlling cache. Next is content length. I know this is accept range. Accept ranges. VI HTTP forward HTTP proxy for that. Okay. Now I getting little bit of idea. So they are used for cache control. I think this content length. Let's see what is accept ranges. I think I can find it here. Accept range. Yeah, it's here. Accept range is used by a server to advertise its support for request range. It allows clients to request part of. HTTP request access the server to send part of the request back to client. So rather than sending the whole resource, they can this request help in sending some part of the request. Okay. And this is used to advertise its support for range, whether it accepts range request or not. So it tells the client that whether the server accepts sending containing parts or not. Okay. So none. It's none here. None in range. Okay, now I get it. So this property is how you get the request. And VI, I think this is the port from which it is forwarded via this, rather than directly coming, they came from this port. Okay, that will be it, I think. Let's see what is the next part. So netcat connection destination host, and it is the connection standard. We can now start typing in terminal the data we transmitted. Now we get this cache control, same thing, get retag, accept encoding. We didn't got that. Making HTTP request from command line is very easy. Let's take a look at the data and try to figure out what that means. First line is get. It contains the HTTP method get and the URL. Figure out if it's a version and we are trying to get requests. Okay. First line of the response. HTTP 1.1 contains the HTTP version and the response code. Following the first line is a list of header and fill in the format of key value. Single header, host would contain the domain name. host name where you want to send the data. Until many feel the functions are not obvious as the host field, many HTTP header field options, some are even useless. So we will learn more about it in later chapter. The response header is followed by payload, which in our case is HTML document. Followed by payload. Payload, which is our HTML document. The payload are separated by empty lines. The get request has no payload, so at the end with an empty line. This is just a simple example that you play within command line. We will examine the HTTP protocol in more details later. Yes, what's next? The evolution of HTTP. The example above is HTTP 1.1, which is an ancient version of HTTP. HTTP does not support multiple requests over a single connection. Example above is HTTP, which is an ancient version of HTTP. Yes, HTTP 1. So what is the recent version of HTTP? So let's see. So HTTP 3, I think. Yes, HTTP the third version of HTTP Transfer Protocol Exchange. Okay. Example about is HTTP, which is an ancient version of HTTP. It does not support multiple requests over a single service. Single connection. You need a new connection for every request. There is a problematic because typical web server depends on many extra resources such as image, script styles. The latency of the TCP handshake makes HTTP unsoboptimal. Okay. So problematic because a website contains images, script, and many things. So we need many things at the same time, and the latency of HTTP handshake that before you make any connection you makes HTTP very suboptimal. HTTP1 fixes this, and because of practical protocol you can try using the NC command to send multiple requests in the same connection by simply changing this to this. Okay. The new version has many features to send multiple requests. Okay. The book will focus on HTTP1 and still very popular and easy to understand. Even software system that have nothing to do with web has adapted HTTP as basics of the network protocol. The backend developer talks about API, they likely means the HTTP based event for internal software services. HTTP 2 is development over 1.1 and it's related to speedy. Recently implemented refinements such as compression of header. It has two new features. So it has two new features, which is sending resource to client for the client request them and multiplexing of multiple requests over a single TCP connection, which is an attempt to address head of line blocking. Means, rather than waiting for the client to get the data, it directly pushes it. Okay. Multiplexing of multiple requests over single line, which is an attempt to address head of the line blocking. With new features, HTTP is no longer a simple request, it's an way to start with HTTP because it's simple enough and easy enough. It's more than just request, it's more features. So it's more like it replaces TPC and uses UDP, so it needs to replicate most of the function of TCP. It is TCP alternative is called QUEC. The motive behind QUEC are user space congestion control, multiplexing, and head of line blocking. Let's see what is this head of line blocking. There is no highlighted here. Check it out later. Let me add it to my notes. That is head of line blocking. A lot about this jargon. I look into this QUAC also. QUICK, QUAC and SPDY, speedy. You are introduced to the command line because it allows for quick testing and debugging, which is handy when coding your own HTTP solver. Although you may want to store request data in a file instead of typing each. So the request data in a file instead of typing each time. NC request data. In practice, you may encounter some quirk of NC commands such as not sending EOF or multiple version of NC with incompatible flag. You may use this EOF. What is the end of file? I think. EOF. Let's see NC. how does this pipe command work? Does it work the other way or that way? I want to means push this data to this new file I'm making.
You can use pipe in between there, na?
Get HTTP this to
Pipe.
okay, I use pipe. A single pipe or double pipe?
Single pipe. Double pipe it is the or, na?
Oh yes, yes. Or
Single pipe is
okay. Beam. No, it's not entering. Why? Why it's not working? It creates file by itself, na? You don't have to use touch or something like that.
yes, if there is no file, it will create it.
Oh, you have to create it first. Now I am
If there is no file, then it will automatically create a file.
okay. I don't have to use touch, na?
No.
Permission denied. Sudo.
Root command.
Permission denied.
Using some root folder or what?
No, it's not root
Or
folder.
it will ask for permission. Normally it's okay. You have to use T command, TW.
T.
After pipe, you use TW, then the file name.
Okay. I think now it condition okay.
We are missing the T command to redirect its output to a file.
Why isn't this working? we are end of the first chapter. First or second chapter, I think. It was quite short. Let's see the types of coding a TCP server. So I think it's the coding part. It's way down below here, I think, but we have a good amount of coding part. So KDP discussing half opening, discussing connection equations. Okay, let's see. So on the first step to get familiar with API, so we will code a simple TCP server in this chapter. TCP network protocol divided into different layers. First chapter is to get familiar with socket APIs, so we will code a simple TCP server in this chapter. TCP review layers of protocol. Network protocol divided into different layers. Higher level depends on the lower level. Each layer provides different message, byte stream, packets. So IP layer gives you packet, it will process, and TCP gives you byte stream, which will be processed and passed to application layer. The layer below TCP is IP layer. Each IP packet is a message with three components: sender address, reception, and message data. So if the message data exceed the capacity of the single packet, what would happen if the message is larger? We have to divide the message. The packet is lost or it gets out of sequence. This out of sequence means, let me give you, what was the name of Excalibur. Excalibur. So it's a dark model. So say you have a message. Let's fill this. You have a large message. You say divide it into small chunks. 6 chunks of data. So this is our message from client side. So say it is in sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when you send it to the server, it may means if the packet size, I divided the message into packets. So this is one single packet, a packet. So if it goes through the internet, let's say this is the inter it may sometimes get they are telling out it may come something like that, one, then one, then there can be five, and like that it may occur. So it's like it may come out in different order. So out of order packet, it makes it simple. To make things simpler, the next layer add on top of it. This will provide bytes timing instead of packets. Reliable order delivery to a simple order of sequence. It gives us the order of sequence. Later we can arrange it again to the protocol rather than the application. It is used to make sense of this byte protocol are like file format, except that total length is unknown and data is read in one pass. Is same layer in TCP but still packet based, like lower layer UDP just add ports over IP packets. An ordered sequence of bytes. So it's like a protocol rather than application. These are rules rather than a whole application arranging and doing all that stuff. Protocol are like file format, except that total length is unknown and the data is read only. Like file formats is like a file format. Total length is unknown. UDP is on same layer as TCP but still packet based, like DDV just add port number over IP packet. Each read from socket response a single write from peer. after reading this Stack Overflow answer. What is stream? Can you actually explain me what is stream, all that? Then this man commented, my 2 cent is not answer worthy. But I want to provide links to 2 articles which provide a good insight of raw data interpretation, all that. You may have read this in COA. Big and Little Indian byte order. Big Indian and Little Indian means least significant is in the last. Least. Some means arrangement of data is arrangement how you access it.
Blocks it is arranged. Data is divided into a specific size of the blocks where it will be stored. Then some data will not take the whole space, it will take a little space. That means it is taking little space, so in that block maybe in lower or it will start from
upper, and accordingly Big Indian understanding Big Indian problem with byte order is frustrating, and I want to spare you the grief that I experience it here. Computers speak different language like people. Some write data left to right, another right to left. A machine can read its own data just fine. Problem happens when one computer stores data and a different type tries to read it. Is one computer reading from different format, means from different sequence, and other is reading from different. And one computer stores data in a different type tries to read it. Solution: agreed on a common format. All network traffic follows a single format. Always include a header that describes the format of the data. If the header appears backward, it means the data was stored in other format and need to be converted. In the header, you just mention what how you can read the data. You see, it comes in streams, na? Rather than directly, it comes in stream, and how you read it, interpretation depends. Numbers versus data. The most important concept is to recognize the difference between a number and a data that represent it. A number is an abstract concept. Just take as count of something. You have 10 figures. The idea of 10 doesn't change no matter what representation you use. This all represent the concept. Contrast with data. Data is physical concept. Raw request of bits and bytes when compared to data has no interface, not inherent meaning, and must be interpreted by whosoever reads it. Data is human. Simple marks on paper. There is no inherent meaning of marks. Such a beautiful line. Contrast with data is a physical concept, a raw sequence of byte. Data has no inherent meaning. It must be interpreted by whoever is reading it. Data is human writing, a simply mark on paper. It has no inherent meaning in this mark. If we use little lines and circle, we may interpret as 10 moon on Jupiter. Data has no meaning. People give the data meaning. Abstract idea, na?
Abstract concept.
Means this symbol 1 and 0. The symbol 1 and 0 is like using pencil and giving mark, na? We human interpret and give them. meaning. It's a beautiful code. I will use it for Twitter. Twitter, okay.
Yeah, post it on Twitter and screenshot this and post it.
The leftmost bit is a byte. Byte is the biggest. Bits are number from right to left. Bit most and that's most is the leftmost largest. Third, the seminal machine. Well, this file for single byte data, like as it have a lot of data needs to be stored using multiple bytes, integers, float point number. if you load 140, but it will take 1080 na.
So it can show in one full screen. Then you can identify the colors and
Okay.
text. Otherwise, you can identify the text in VS Code. Very sharp, very sharp display is clear. How it's possible? Only two quality HDR 1440p. YouTube automatically screen quality, na? Means 60 40. You upload video 1080p or 1440p, then it will just degrade it and create other qualities also.
Yes, but I think YouTube itself create different qualities.
It just show that
Or rather, he has changed the setting to be like that.
don't know what he has done. Only two qualities is showing.
boom, this comes to the beginning, but you end up having
I was here to understand uh, that what is byte string, but I ended up learning more about this. Speaking, I will watch this article later. Let's go. And what is the second article? is nowadays become very unstable.
Now everything is fine. When I look, it they look like an imposter. Really.
Is it like the UDP continuously read every time anything is any changes is made by the peer, the UDP suddenly reads it, or whenever it reads it, it means he is reading whatever the peer is writing, something like that. Okay. Space no semicolon disease and they are stored for transition. Heights are indistinguishable from a single light. I think we should go. It will rain or something like that. The thunder is.
We should go there.
Mm,
It was thunder or what?
yes, I heard thunder.
Okay, let's go.
I think I should stop the stream here. I will continue it tomorrow. From here, I will read about all the stuffs. I also need to do some reading about all this foundation TCP. I forget about all of them.